What we're going to be doing here is we're going to take alpha 1, we'll throw that onto the frequency knob, and let's push it back to do some backwards modulation. So just click and then drag backwards. And you can hear that we're getting even more modulation from this. We're starting to get a nice tone at about -40. -40 or -41, that sounds pretty good. The next effect we're going to throw on is going to be an EQ. We'll click on that and then we'll drag it to be after the filter and before the compressor or the chorus. And the filter removed a lot of the high frequencies and left this bass sounding a little bit dull, so we're going to remedy that with this EQ. I'm only going to use this second EQ band right here. We're going to be using the little high boost right here. And I'm going to turn our gain up so we can start bringing the high end of this sound back. I think we can probably go for about 7 dB right here. That sounds pretty good. Let's also go over to the frequency, and we'll push this further to the right because we don't want to boost the mid end of the sound too much. We only want the high end. I think we can go for about right here, maybe 3,205 hertz. And we can leave the Q as it is. The last effect we're going to add on inside of Serum is going to be a compressor. And we're going to click on multiband, set this to be a multiband compressor. And now we're going to turn the gain up, and we're going to really hear a huge difference in this sound. I think we can go for about 11 dB on the gain. And you can hear the multiband compressor is really doing a good job of making this sound more aggressive and full. So we've got the main core elements of this sound down, but you may be wondering why it doesn't sound quite as full as the sound that I played earlier. Well, we've still got a couple more things to do. The last thing we need to do inside of Serum that I actually forgot about, silly me, is to go back into the oscillator tab, and we're going to need to turn up the amount of voices on both oscillators A and B to give more of a full and thick sound to this bass. Let's go over to the unison for oscillator A. We're going to turn this up to be 5 voices. And you can already hear that this sound is more full and thick, and it has more stereo presence because we've got more voices playing at the same time. But one of the problems with this is that now we've got the sound playing a bit different each time and having different stereo phases. So to fix this, we'll go down to the phase, we'll put this down at 0, and we'll do the same thing for the random knob. We'll put this down at 0%. So now the same sound is playing with the same stereo phase every time. Let's also push the detune knob down a bit, down to the left, because if you have the detune too high, your bass starts to sound really funky and weird. So let's go over to the detune, and we'll just push that back. And it sounds pretty good at about 0.10 or 0.9, right there. Let's also do the same thing for oscillator B. We'll just go over to the unison tab. Let's also increase this to 5 voices. We'll go over to the phase and the random knobs, and we'll push those down to 0 like we did with oscillator A. And we'll push this detune knob back. I think it sounds pretty good right here at 0.13. So now we've got a much thicker and full sound for our bass with a heavier stereo presence.